All right, guys, this is Mary Cole, Good Story Company. And you may wonder what the heck is going on, what this light is, what I'm doing, where I'm sitting, why I'm moving. Well, I am on my fit desk. And I'm on my fit desk to make a point. And this is my SAD light, my seasonal affective disorder light, which we need up here in the north. And I'll probably move, but I'm here with my SAD light on my fit desk, pedaling away to make a point. So we've talked about creativity. We've talked about concrete tips to be creative in your writing, to be creative in your life, productive. We've also talked about taking an I don't give a fuck type of moment and letting go of all the need for productivity and creativity. I'm probably going to leave my setup, but I'm demonstrating through action here that we need to take care of ourselves and our bodies and do self-care as well. And I have actually been pretty bad about it. I have not gotten on my little fit desk. This thing is amazing. It is so ugly, by the way, that everybody makes so much fun of me for having it. But it is a little bike, a little stationary bike with a little desk on it for my laptop. And I can sit here and pedal and edit and pet it to my little heart's content. And to be honest with you, I have not been doing that very much in these 2 weeks home. I have been kind of out of my routine. Children are home, things are happening. And I have sort of really neglected the physical element. And why I wanted to remind you of the physical element today is that I fully believe that we have this back brain creative process. I have to apologize for the noise. Somebody is weed whacking or something. So they are also taking care of their creative element in their backyard. But writing is such a mental process. And it's very, very easy for us as writers to get very much up in our heads. But like I was saying a couple of videos ago, we can't just think our way out of every problem that we have. And so I am a big believer in the back brain, the creative back brain. So as I take care of myself and do some self care on camera for this live, I wanted to remind you guys to not get out necessarily because I don't know where you are and I don't want to advise you to get out and get sick. But do whatever you can to move your body and engage in some of these kind of back brain creative juice stimulating activities because I really do believe that some of my best ideas come to me when I'm walking the dog, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm driving, when I'm doing this stuff that just it doesn't require active thinking because a lot of my ideas they tend to sort of be very, very indirect. If you sit there and if you try to summon a solution or summon an idea, it's not going to happen, right? And so I think that by taking care of the human meat sack, which we are all contained within, and trying to do whatever the meat sack needs. So if the winter is long and we're stuck inside, we're not getting a lot of vitamin D. I've been using a satellite this season. I don't know if it works or not, but I'm going to keep doing whatever I can to sort of take care of myself because at the end of the day, that's really all that you have. But put your body into motion. Do a little stationary bike riding. If you have a treadmill in the garage, dust it off. People walk around the lake all the time, staying a little bit away from one another. But it's like we can't just sit here and be in our heads. And I think that is something that a lot of people that I've talked to are dealing with. They're like so up in their heads. They have so much anxiety about what's going on. And it's like, as writers, we tend to do that. That is our wheelhouse. If we weren't very cerebral people, if we weren't very sort of considerate and maybe even sometimes analysis paralysis type people, then we probably wouldn't be very good at writers. But it can definitely be a blind spot or a downside. And especially in times like this, where we're neglecting our bodies a little bit, and I'm speaking for myself, um, jogging your body literally is a great way of jogging ideas because when you're moving you are activating completely different sort of ways of thinking, ways of existing in the world. And I really do believe in a nice balance between the thinking work, the on the document creative work, and then everything that comes out after and between times, and when you're falling asleep, and when you're driving around, and when you're just existing or having a random thought. That is where some of my best creative ideas come from. And that's why my first tip of this series was to keep a notebook nearby, because you never know when an idea is going to strike. I watched I think it was like an Arts at Google talk. It was kind of like a corporate TED talk where they invited Lady Gaga to speak for their employees. And she said, and she said God, but I think she meant creative inspiration. If God is not your thing, whatever your belief system, she said, if God calls you, pick up the damn phone. And that has stuck with me. I probably watched this clip back in 2012. It has stuck with me because I think she's right. And she's somebody who's really capitalized on her unique artistic vision, her inspiration. But if inspiration strikes, have a notebook by your nightstand. If you're falling asleep and you have a wonderful novel idea, why don't you jot it down before it gets away from you? And similarly, in order to try and facilitate different pathways of thinking, different pathways of being in the world, and different routes for ideas to reach you, I'm reminding myself during all of this that I need to move my body. As much as I wish that I could be a brain in a jar, and I have wished that. I've said that to my therapist many times before, just like, why can't I be a brain in a jar? I don't want to deal with all these feelings. As much as I personally want to be a brain in a jar, I am not. I am a human instrument. I am a human vessel. This is how I process emotion. This is how I sort of take what's in the physical world and translate it to the brain part. And at least for me, that's been neglected over this period of time. So if you have exercise equipment collecting dust, or exercise equipment that you normally use, if you're out of your routine, if you've sort of gotten away from just straight up physical self-care, that's something that I really want to see you try and prioritize during this time. Again, I don't want anybody being too hard on themselves, but it's very easy to sort of give up the things that make us feel good first in situations like this. We feel hopeless. And so it's like, what's even the point of my little sad light or my fit desk? I just want to hunker down and do anything I can to feel better. And for me, that's work. And so I'm very tempted to just like sit there and zoom out. But my body needs a little love too. And so I've been going for walks. I've been trying to get back into using the fit desk. I took a bath last night. But just anything that you can do to sort of take good care of your physical instrument that is a conduit between your brain, your heart, and the world. I think that's a fantastic idea. And you may get, while you're engaging in some of those automatic physical processes, you may get more access to your ideas that have been percolating on the back brain. And without further ado, I would love to share with you. One of my team members got me this shirt because we we just did our retreat in Arizona, and so she purchased for me a shirt that says "Taco Cat," spelled backwards is Taco Cat. So with that wisdom, I'm going to leave you guys. Try not to take it so seriously. Do what you need to do physically and mentally and emotionally to get through this. I will be here through Sunday giving away these tips, which seem to be getting more and more esoteric by the day. But I'm keeping an eye on what writers are writing to me, my clients, what my team members are experiencing, and how I'm getting through this. And I can only wish the same for you, that you take it one day at a time. You take good care of yourself. Yesterday's tip was about taking good care of others without necessarily touching them or being in the same room. And that's really all we can do. And I think every day that we don't succumb to despair or panic or media overload, I think that's a really good day. So please stick with me. And here's to a good story and 14 days of creativity and productivity tips for writers. My name is Mary Cole, and I will be back with you at noon tomorrow on YouTube Live. Have a good one. Bye.